Hello Flosstube. This is going to be my Christmas edition where I'm going to show you all of my Christmas finishes. I have some new ones that I've recently finished and FFO'd. I'm going to show you my Christmas WIPs, and if there's time I'm going to show you my Christmas stash that has been calling to me. So I'm going to get into it. I have my clock here. I have about an hour before I have to go get my kids, and it's my son's birthday party today, so I'm gonna have a bunch of little kids running around in my house in about 2 hours. So here we go, let's just dive in. So I'm gonna show you, I have all my ornaments. I don't have a lot of Christmas finishes, but I have a handful. So this is the first Christmas ornament I ever finished, stitched and FFO'd. It's a Margaret Sherry, I forget where it is, one of her like collection books. And I just found cardboard from a cereal box, and I just wrapped it around it, slapped some felt on the back, and I made this cording out of, what was it? I think it was out of two different, it was like a green, it's not floss, it's like their wool. They have kind of like a DMC wool. Someone's screaming it at me right now what it is. Anyways, I used that, and then I used some of the DMC metallic. But that's really cute. It's not perfect. It's I definitely don't use cardboard from cereal boxes anymore, but anyways, I'm proud of it. And then I'll show you some of my other ornaments that I've done. Some of them, I've got a couple new ones. So here are some Mill Hill ornaments that I did on fabric, because I got in my head that I didn't like stitching on perforated paper when I had never tried it before. So this is the cat, and there's the back. And I have a tutorial. I took a class at my local needlework shop, and I have a tutorial that talks about how I finish in this method. In the tutorial though, I talk about like broadcloth, interfacing. I don't do that anymore. I just like slap the fabric on the front, slap it on the back, and then I'm done, because it just takes too long to do all those steps. This was another one. It's a Mill Hill. I crocheted, I got like this fuzzy wool, and I did a single crochet to make like a trim, and it goes on my tree like that. Again, another Mill Hill. Did the same thing. This was like a fuzzy wool. I don't know what it's called. I just got it in the wool section at Michael's, and I did a single crochet and then just glued it on. Again, another Mill Hill. This is pre-purchased cording you can get at your fabric store. I don't know, we have Fabricland in Canada. I don't know what it is. Joann's. Yeah, that's your fabric store in America, right? And then this one here is another Mill Hill. And all I did was I just kind of ruched the ribbons, and then you can kind of see there's little push pins. I don't know if you can see there. Yeah, I love that one. Again, another Mill Hill. I was really into putting Mill Hills on fabric. There's the back. And then I decided to actually try Mill Hill on perforated paper. I was like, wow, I really like this. So I actually did this one. This is, what's Jim Shore? Yeah, Jim Shore. I think this is a Jim Shore snowman. And all I did was I tried to do the Vana method, because I kind of like the idea of that method, but I couldn't get for the life of me, I couldn't cut the mat board out. It was too, I couldn't get it to look neat enough. So what I did was I took just a piece of felt, and I took, it's called heat bond, and you use it for applique for quilting. So you iron it on. I just used a low heat setting, and I ironed it on the felt. And then what you do is you peel the paper off, and then the other side is sticky after you've ironed it on. And then what I did was I took a piece of cardstock, and then I ironed it. I ironed the cardstock onto the back of the felt, and so it's pretty solid. Like it's like, I'm sure if I like just reefed on it, it would bend, but, and then I just used this Eileen's, nope, this is a new bottle. I don't know what I did with my old bottle. I use this quick dry tacky glue, and that also adds a layer of, like it makes it like stiffer. And then in the model, they show this as being completely cut out. I didn't bother. I just found like a coordinating piece of, I think it's, well, it's blue. And I cut out the perforated paper, but then I just left the blue there. It just makes it easier, I find anyway. And then this isn't cross stitch. This is a Bucilla felt ornament. I still have the other ones I have to finish. And then this is one of my latest finishes. This is from Lori Birmingham. This is from her Jingle Bells. Is it Jingle Bells? Actually, I have the pattern here. Where is it? I think it's called Jingle Bells. Jingle Pals, sorry. It's from this chart here. And I just made some, this is homemade cording. And then what I did was I took, I have it here. In order to get the shape I needed, I just took a photocopy of it on my like 3-in-1 printer at home. And then I used this to cut out the mat board. And then I used, this is like that plushy felt. And then I just tied it at the top. There's like a little pin just to keep it in. I glued it, but the pin also kind of keeps it secure. And then this was a Dimensions banner kit. And again, I just stitched it on perforated paper and cut it out. It's really cute. I use wonder clips to basically keep, I don't know if you can see, just to keep the perforated paper secure as the glue is drying. And then after I go back around with like a little pin, like a sewing pin, and I just will stick the glue in to the cracks that are still open, and then I secure it with the wonder clip. There's that one. And then this is a finish that you guys haven't seen yet. This is from Brooks Books, Spirit of Knitting. And again, I actually used 2 pieces of cardstock glued onto felt, and like it's very solid. And then I initially kind of wondered why this was stitched on. This is stitched on a metallic paper, but I was like, I'm covering the whole thing with beads and stitches, but I don't know if you can see the edges are the metallic showing through. And when it's on my Christmas tree, it actually it looks like it's sparkling. It's really cool. And then I just used invisible thread, and I made a little piece of cording, and I just sewed these on with invisible thread. I did put a little bit of glue behind this just to keep it in place, but super cute. That's like one of my favorite finishes for this year. And then I have my Cricut finishes. So I did this one a few years ago. This is just basically a piece of mat board, 2 pieces of mat board that I cut out on my using my Cricut Maker. So on the Cricut Maker, it has what's called a knife blade that can cut through leather, it can cut through wood, and it can cut through mat board. So I just cut out 2 pieces of mat board, and then I just finished the top how I would normally finish my regular ornaments. And I put some trim on it, and you can get like SVG files off of Etsy. I think I got like 100 different shapes for like $3 on Etsy. So there's that one. This is a Veronique and Ginger. It's from the Parisian Embroiderers. You guys know how much I love Parisian Embroiderers. And then here's another, oh yeah, and then on this one I actually, because this is paper, because I used the mat board, and then I used the same SVG file to cut out an identical piece of scrapbook paper. What I did was I sprayed it with this sealer. It's from Americana, and it's just an acrylic sealer. It's clear. In hindsight, I wish I would have done like another couple coats, but it's fine. But this is just kind of protects it. It's not going to protect it if you store, like I would not store this in like a damp basement or an attic because it's obviously paper, it'll kind of warp. And then I finished these other two Parisian embroider ornaments the same way. But instead of using this acrylic spray, I used this Mod Podge, a matte finish. And I just put like 2 or 3 coats on. So if you feel it, it feels like it's got like a plasticky, well, it doesn't feel like paper. It feels like it's got like a finish on it just to protect it. Again, I wouldn't saturate it with water or anything. And then I made my own cording with a cording drill. And then what I did on this, so let me grab this ornament. Well, I was having a problem with this, like, I don't know if you can see there, the floss was kind of splitting a little bit. I don't know if anyone has any tips. Maybe I'm not making my cording correctly, but what I did was I actually did an experiment with this spray. So if you buy pre-made cording, it kind of has, it feels like it has some sort of finish on it to keep all the strands together. So I actually sprayed this cording with this because it's clear, it's non-yellowing, it says. Hopefully it's not yellowing. And if you actually feel it, it feels like it feels like there's like a finish on it. It doesn't feel like hard or sticky or anything, but it just kind of binds the fibers together. So, and I just did like 1 coat of it. So again, that was from the Parisian Embroiderers. And then this is also, again, I used an SVG file to cut out the shape, and then I glued it on. So those are those ones. So yeah, I don't have like a ton of ornaments, but hopefully I'm working on a collection of ornaments. And then I have my stocking finishes. So when was it? 2017, I think it was. No, not 2017. It was after my son was born. Maybe it was 2018. Could have been 2018. I don't remember. It wasn't 2017. Anyways, actually, that's how I found Flosstube. Was I had stitched a couple stockings. I stitched one for my daughter, and then yeah, I stitched this one in 2018 for my son. But I had started in 2017 because I knew I was expecting a boy. So I finished them, and then I was like, I don't know how to actually fully finish them. So it was my husband who told me, he said, why don't you go look on YouTube? Because he used YouTube a lot for stuff with our tractor, how to fix things on our tractor. So that's how I found Flosstube. And I found Nell's channel, Little Yellow House Crafts. And she has a quick 20-minute tutorial on how to finish stockings. And then, so yeah, so this was my first stocking. Actually, this was my first stocking that I finished, and it is a dimensions kit. I can't remember the name of it. It's an old out of print dimensions kit, and I did it exactly how she explained in her video, like step by step, like everything. There's that one, and then this is an old Hirschner's kit. I've also stitched a tree skirt, which I'll show you in a minute. This one here, I can't remember the name of it. And again, I did the quilted back. So then because I like stitching stockings, I stitched my kids another set of stockings, but I wanted to do them in a little bit like fancier way. I wanted to use the, I don't know what it's called, like plush velvet, micro velvet. I don't know what it's called, but like the velvety material. So, and I also wanted to add cording. Now in Nell's tutorial, she doesn't talk about adding cording to her stockings. So I had to, so what I did was I bought, and I don't have it to show. It's that cording that has like it's a strip of material so that you can actually sew it into the seam. The problem I was having was in order to sew that into all of the layers of the stocking, I had to use my walking foot. The problem is the walking foot can't get right, but like you can't butt it up right against the seam. So part of the piece of the material that's attached to the cording would be showing. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not putting cording on because this is kind of a thicker, so this is the micro velvet or whatever, but it's a thick kind of sandwich. If you're just doing like maybe just cotton and you're only doing like one layer, like the front of your stocking and the back of your stocking, you might be able to do it, but I couldn't use my walking foot, and I couldn't get the zipper foot. Well, the zipper foot couldn't even fit all of these layers underneath, and my walking foot couldn't get up close enough to the edge of the cording. So anyways, I finished it pretty much exactly like Nell described in her video, with a couple of changes. She talks about running a stitch along the top here, like finding a similar colored thread to just run a top stitch to fasten down the unfinished edge, this unfinished edge of the stocking. And I didn't do that because there's like so many different colors along the top. I didn't want to have like a thread running through, if that makes sense. Sorry, I had a cat knocking at the door. So where was I? Oh yeah, I didn't do the top stitch up here. I also did something a bit different with the top edge of the back of the stocking. So in Nell's video, she talks about just kind of flipping the top over once and then again, so that you can kind of sew that seam, like finish that edge so that it's not like a raw edge. I couldn't do that with the velvet. So what I did was I found, let's see if I can find it. I kept one of them out to show. Here it is. It's over in the, where you get like bias tape, but it's like this, it's kind of like a fancier ribbon. But you can sew through it. Like if you were to use just regular ribbon, I think your sewing machine would chew it up. What is it called? Hem tape. So, and then what I did was I applied some heat bond, again, that sticky paper I was talking about earlier, that heat bond to it, and I folded it. So I cut this so that it was aligned with the finished edge here, and then I used my iron to attach the ribbon along here. So like I ironed down the one side, flipped it, and then I put the iron to the other side so that it secured it, and then I just did a top stitch across to finish it. What was the other thing that I did different? Oh, I didn't use, she'll tell you to use quilt batting. I did not use quilt batting because it was going to make the back too chunky. So I went to the area that has like the interfacing, and I found something that looks like felt, and I'm so sorry I didn't bring it out. But it's basically like the thickness of like a piece of craft felt, and I use that for my quilt sandwich. So there's the stocking. Oh, and then the trim. So going back to the trim, I couldn't sew it into the stocking. So I was watching, I watched all the stocking tutorials, and I suggest you watch all of the stocking tutorials because you may just get some tips or hints on how to finish something, or finish it the way you want to finish it, or a way that's easy for you. So I was watching, her name is Jackie, and her channel is, I wanted to say Cross by Floss. That's not her channel. It's Cross something. Anyways, her name is Jackie. I will link her channel below because I can't remember her channel name, and it's going to bug me now. Anyways, she has a stocking tutorial. It's excellent. I highly recommend it, especially if you want to do a stocking with a liner. Mine does not have a liner, but she had the same problem as I did. She couldn't sew the cording into her stocking. So she just glued it. And I'm like, that's genius. I want to glue it too. So I just pulled out, I know some of you are gasping because I know some people don't like to put glue anywhere near their stitching. It does not bother me. I use the Eileen's Quick Dry Tacky Glue, and I did it in phases because I didn't want it to come off, but I just used like a sewing pin and I just put it in the seam, and then I used sewing pins to tack it down, and then just pulled them out after it dried. So I started, I don't know if you can see here. Where did I say? Oh, sorry, one more thing before I get there. The hanger is not glued. I did just sew it across here a couple times, and you can't really see there's like a little stitch line there. You can't really see it. But how did I start this? Do I remember how I started this? Oh, okay, yeah. So if you can see down inside, and also this is pre-made cording, make sure you tape the edge before you cut it because it will unravel like crazy. But I basically, and I haven't done it with this one, I've done it with the other one. I sew the, did I start there? I did not start there. That is a lie. I started on this side where the hanger is. And I basically sewed that edge into the seam. And then I came down and I glued it all the way around. And then I came around the front and then the back. And then I tucked it down into the seam. So that's how I finished this one. This one is called, this is a dimensions kit called Must Be Saint Nick. It's no longer in production. But I think you can get it on a place like eBay or Etsy. But yeah, I love this one. Love this finish. So that's how I finished that one with the micro velvet. And then I finished this one the exact same way, except I used the red micro velvet. And this, the quilting, I just used the 45-degree angle on my quilting ruler. And I just drew on the inside. You can't even really see it anymore. I used pencil and then I just quilted it. But if you use the 45-degree angle and just keep moving over 2 inches, you'll get kind of like a perfect diamond pattern. Anyways, this one is, what is this one called? Oh, is it Sweet Dream Stock? I can't remember. I think it's Sweet Dream Stocking. This is still available if you go on 1, 2, 3 stitch. You should be able to find it, or Amazon. Anyways, I love that one. Love the stockings. And then what other Christmassy finishes do I have? I guess I'll show you this one next. So this one, I've shown this one on my channel before. It was like a few years ago, but I thought I'd pull it out because it's one of my favorite finishes. I think when my son he had just turned 1, I'd started stitching all of the Brooks Books Advent animals. And I'll just show them to you. This one's Ethan Elephant. I do know that because my son's name is Ethan. I think that's Leo Lion. If you ask my kids know all of the names of these guys. Hattie Hedgehog. And these were free patterns on Brooks Books, her website. Friedrich Frog, I think, maybe. I can't remember this one. And then there's this one. And this is actually, my daughter did a assignment last year talking about Christmas traditions and what her favorite Christmas tradition is. And she said that her Advent calendars were her favorite tradition. So it kind of made it all worthwhile, all the stitching and the work that went into finishing them, because they took a lot of work to finish and stitch. But I was off on mat leave, so I would work on them when my kids were napping. There's that one. That one's really cute. So I took this down while they were at school because my son will have a conniption if he comes home and I haven't put it back up. There's the cow. And there's a camel. And they each take turns putting one of the animals up every day. What's this one? This one's cute too. Little squirrel. I know this is Katie Kitty. And I think that one's Mary Mouse. And what I did was, there's washers in the back here. And initially, so I'll show you the wall hanging in a minute, but I have these, I don't know what they're called. There's a name for them. They're like basically the needle minder magnets. Starts with an M, or N, sorry. You guys know it. You know what I'm talking about, right? If you don't, message me and I'll look up the name of it. But basically what I do is, hopefully I can show this to you, because this is like massive. So you may not see me for a minute, but I made this wall hanging. Can I back up? I made this wall hanging, and all this stuff I cut out with my Cricut, like the star, the tree I freehand cut out. But all the numbers and the circles I cut out on my Cricut. And then I appliqued them to the tree, and then I appliqued the tree to this quilt backing. And then what I did was, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it. It's kind of a neat thing, kind of personalized it. I also put like, I don't know if you can see, I sewed like sequins and there's beads on the star. But let me roll it so that I can show you the bottom. So at the bottom of the tree, oh, and I'm shaking the camera, I'm sorry. I cut these presents out on my Cricut, and then I embroidered my kids' names on like I can't tell if that's my son or not. It's my daughter, and then my son on that present. And then I just these are sequins and beads. And then what they do is, every day, so before I applique this on, there's a heavy magnet in underneath the circle. I just kind of glued it to keep it in place. And initially I was just going to use the washers in behind the ornaments, but they weren't heavy enough, so I had to add the magnet. And then what they do is they just every day they just put a new one on, and it hangs in our hall. And some of these, so that's how they do their advent every day. So I'm really proud of that finish. I was kind of, when I first saw those animals, sorry, let me put this down, it's very heavy. When I first saw those animals, I had this idea in my head of how I wanted to finish it, because we had kind of a similar, it was on a much smaller scale. My mom had like this very simple felt advent calendar, and every day the calendar you would unpin one of the felt ornaments and move it up to the tree. So that's kind of where I got that idea. But yeah, it's really fun. They love it. Another advent calendar I made for them, and it's empty because it's in use right now, is this one here. This was a kit. I am so sorry, I don't remember the name of the kit. It's not in production anymore. I got it a number of years ago. But if you're curious on the name of it, just pop a note down below. But it was a kit, and what you do is I stitched and then sewed these little baggy things together, and we put the treats inside, and every day they take off the number for the corresponding day. But yeah, I love that. So they alternate. One day one takes one off of this calendar, and then the next day they switch between calendars, so they each get to enjoy both. Sorry, let me figure out where I'm going to put this. What other Christmas? These are like little ornaments. This is just an unfinished ornament that I had. I think this was an Elisa kit. I don't know if it's a Polish company. It's one of the kits from Eastern Europe. So I don't know what the name of it is. And what else do I have? I have this one. I'll show you this one. This one is getting framed next month. I'm going to take it to the framers. This is Santa of the Forest. I've shown this before too. This is by Lavender and Lace. And he's big, but he's so beautiful. Handsome, not beautiful. Well, it's a beautiful piece, but yeah, I just love this piece, the animals. And there's like a little write-up on her website. And I guess each of these pieces have like a meaning to it. Like when here, hold please, I'm gonna look it up. Okay, here it is on her website. So she has like a little blurb about each of these animals. So let me just read it to you quick. Hopefully I can read it without my glasses. When I first did this Santa, I gave him an armful of toys. The toys and ribbons were beautiful, but sort of meaningless. When removing fur on his cape, I thought of replacing the toys with animals. The first animal I thought of was a dove of peace. Then I added a little bear, symbolizing Russia. The wolf represents countries that have violent governments and use this violence to survive. The gentle brown rabbit is caught in the middle, but looking towards peace. The wise spotted owl sits near the head of man in hopes that he will find wisdom before it's too late. Santa's staff represents history, a guide for moving forward. The fabric of his robe became the forest and the trees and the stars. His colorful mittens represent the children of the world, extensions of the wise person. This design represents a gathering of nations towards world peace, as well as respecting the environment. Isn't that cool? When I was stitching this, I had no idea that was kind of her inspiration for this piece. So I love it even more now. What's really funny is when she was talking about, where does it say it? His colorful mittens represent the children of the world. And I was like, he's wearing mittens? I was like, where are the mittens? So I guess, where are they? I still can't even find them. Oh yeah. These things here are his mittens. And I'm like, duh, like, I don't know what I thought they were. I initially was like, oh, it's just like little symbols or whatever. But this is like, it's wrapped around the staff. Like, what did I think it was? Like, his arms are here. He's just like, he's handless? I don't know. Anyways, I felt really dumb, but that's like an everyday occurrence though. So like, I'm used to feeling dumb. So there it is. Love this. So I want to say this is still in print, but I don't know. Like, I'm kind of confused with the lavender and lace patterns because some of them seem like you can still get, and then some of them are really hard to find. So I don't know. I know the person who bought the rights to lavender and lace. She's active on the Facebook group, and she's always said that the patterns will never go out of print, but there's some of her patterns that you just can't find anymore. So this one is still available, but I think it's getting there. So if you want it, I would suggest you pick it up. Okay, what else do I have? I think I have 2 more Christmas finishes. Yeah, this one isn't really Christmas. This is like a winter one. It's from Tralala. And I just bought this. This is just like quarter round from Home Depot, and I just cut it with a miter saw, glued it together. Now this is when quarter round wasn't that expensive. You get like a big long length of it for like $10. And I got a couple frames out of it. It's kind of expensive now, and it's a lot of work to make these. So now what I do is, if I'm going to frame something myself, I'll go to like the thrift store and see if there's a frame I can just cut down to size. But because you can get like frames at the thrift store for like $10. Anyways, there's that one. And then I just remembered I left my last finish under my tree still. So just a second. Okay, so my last finish that I have to show you, and if you've watched me for any length of time, you know I like cute, you know I like tacky. Tacky sounds negative. What's like the non-negative? Kitschy? Is it kitschy? I don't know. Anyways, I love this. This is like everything I love about Christmas. Cute, kitschy, and I'll have to back up. This is a Joan Elliott pattern. Again, this is an old Hirschner's kit that's no longer in production. And I think it's actually called Meowie Christmas Tree Skirt. and it's by Joan Elliott. She has a very distinct style. And I basically just finished the edges, like I tucked them under, and then I just found like some red trim and I sewed it to the edge. And I did that for around the top as well. So yeah, those are my Christmas finishes. I think those are all my Christmas. I have one other one. I showed it in my last video. You're gonna look at it and be like, that's not Christmas, but it's going to go on my fancy lady Christmas tree. It's a Parisian embroiderer. It's from her Marie Antoinette. I didn't quite get around to fully finishing it this year, but next year. Okay, so those are my Christmas finishes. I'm gonna show you my Christmas WIPs. And we are at 35 minutes, so hopefully I actually don't have that many Christmas WIPs. I was kind of surprised. I thought I had more Christmas WIPs, but apparently not. So I'm gonna show you the one I've been currently working on, which I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing, but it's getting there, guys. So here, I'll show you the whole thing in case you're new here and you've never seen this WIP. This is the Mill Hill Christmas Village series, the houses, and I am almost done stitching the last, how many more do I have to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 more. Right now there's 26 in the series. So they release them every July, so I'm gonna pick up the one this July, and then the following July, hopefully I'll have everything done. And then next July, all I have to do is just stitch that last one, and then I can frame it up. But we'll see, fingers crossed. So I've been working on finishing the cafe. Oh, and just to say, I'm doing all the stitching first, and then I'm going to go back and bead everything, because there's no way I'd be able to stitch and bead at the same time. So I don't even know how I'm going to bead this thing. It's going to be so heavy by the time I'm done. So this is I think the last time you saw it, I think I only had like this section done, but I finished this. I'm still working on the back stitching, and I started the general store. Yeah, this is the general store. And then honestly, I can't remember the ones I have left. I know I have the clockmaker, the country church, the train depot, the school, the physician's house. How many is that? Clock, school, train depot, church. I'm missing one. I can't remember which one I'm missing, but I know there's 6 more to stitch. Now, I don't know. You guys can give me your opinions. So they release one of these every year, one house. So I have enough room to do another column here. But when I look, I have enough room to do probably another column as well. Do I wait like another 5 years to do all of them? Or do I just like call it a day? I don't know. I really kind of want this hanging on my wall sooner rather than later, and I've had people say to me like, oh, that's a lot of work for just Christmas. I'm like, this is staying up all year long. This is not coming down. Same thing with Santa of the Forest. Like I'll keep that up. I'll keep that up all year round as well. Okay, so that's one WIP that I've been working on. Where should I pile this? Down here. And then my next WIP that I've been working on, I did get a bit more progress on it. This is Santa on a Horse. This is the Heaven Earth Design version. Mine's going to look different than that, and I've talked about that in a previous video. And here's where I'm at. And I think since my last video, I've stitched this here, and then I've started on the little boy. This is the back of his hat and his hair. So I got a long ways to go on this one. And it's fiddly. It's really fiddly stitching. But it's beautiful. I mean, the more, I don't know if there's like a correlation between the more fiddly it is, the more detail and I don't know. It's really, it's a beautiful piece. Anyways, love that one. Okay, what else do I have? And then since my last video, I've done 2 restarts. I'll show you the first one. Which one is this one? I won't show you that one first. I'll show you this one first. This one is a Dimensions Gold stocking. I think in my last video I said I was going to do the singing cats. But then when I finished my son's stocking and my daughter's stocking, I saw how beautiful it was. I just pulled another Dimensions Gold. The one I originally was going to do anyway. This is Victorian Bear stocking by Dimensions Gold. It is out of print. And this one, because, so this is a restart, because I was stitching it on a higher count, I used DMC floss. So this one I've just pulled, I'm using all of the kit things because I didn't use them the first time I was stitching it. So this is the kit floss. And there's my start. I have done this little, most of this here, the bear. So yeah, doesn't look like a lot, but that's like about a couple thousand stitches. Doesn't look, looks like it's like nothing. But anyway, I worked on that for about 5 days. And then I have a very sad story, and I'm over it. Like this happened, did this happen like shortly after my last video? So like middle of November. When did I do a video last? I can't remember. It was like middle of November. I was almost finished this project. Finished to the point where I wanted to finish it. And I was I had it in a Q-snap because I was back stitching it, and I got distracted. I put the Q-snap down the side of, just beside my chair. It was kind of leaning, because it was a 17 by 11 Q-snap. Yeah, it was leaning on my side table because I thought I was just going to come right back to it, and I didn't. I got distracted, and normally what happens when I get up from my stitching chair, my cat goes and sits on my chair, and my cat is a puker. He loves to puke, and right now he's puking 3 times as much as what he normally is because he loves to eat artificial Christmas trees. I've tried everything. I've put bitter apple on it. He'll still eat it. I don't understand. It tastes awful. So anyway, I came back to find that he had puked on this next piece that was almost finished. And you guys are gonna know which one it is. It was this one here. So I was working on the back stitching here, and like a big blob of puke was right here. So normally what I do on my carpet when this happens is I put OxiClean on it, and I should have known better because the OxiClean doesn't even get, sorry, my cat's coming in. The OxiClean doesn't really get it out of the carpet. It still leaves like a hint of like brown. I know that sounds gross, but anyways, I put OxiClean on it, but it discolored the red, like it discolored all this in here, and it didn't really take, there's some negative space that it looked like it had the hint of the brown on it. So I got angry and I restarted it. I'm not gonna lie, there were tears, but I'm over it now. It's just cross stitching. It's just cross stitching. Like it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. And that's what I had to tell myself. And I've had mishaps with cross, not like that kind of mishap. I had another situation where I was a little over, not as far along as I was on that, a little over half done on a piece, and I had trusted the lady at the LNS to cut my fabric for me. I passed her the pattern. I brought the fabric from the bolt. I said, I need a piece to stitch this up. I said, can you cut me a piece of fabric off this bolt? Yeah, sure, that's fine. Well, you think that people in needlework stores would know that you don't cut the fabric to the size of the design, and I assumed that she knew that. And I started stitching away. It was lavender and lace, please. And as I'm moving across the dress, I realized, I was like, I'm not gonna have enough space. So when I counted over, she had cut the piece of fabric to the design size. So she left no like margin for framing, for nothing. Like the last stitch was going to be like on the serged part of the fabric. So again, there's lots of swearing. I think there was more swearing than crying, because I think I was more upset because I felt like this was my fault, that I was careless and I put my piece down and then my cap, like it was 100% my fault. Whereas I think I was more angry because the other one wasn't my fault. So anyways, but long story short, I have had mishaps with cross stitch before, and since then I've restitched that lavender lace piece. It's hanging on my wall. It's all good. Like no love lost, you know. Anyways, so I'm gonna do that with this one. Did I show you the piece? Yeah. Anyways, I don't think I did, but I'm stitching it with DMC because I don't have enough floss to restitch. I don't have enough of the dimensions floss, but I am using the fabric from the kit. So originally I wasn't gonna stitch this bottom section. I was just gonna stitch the top because I just liked the picture, and then I figured I didn't want my kids to figure out this was an advent calendar because I didn't want them touching it. Like you can't see with these, like there's, like if you look up close, they're a tiny bit grubby, just a tiny bit, which is fine. I didn't want to put all this work in this. Like I can restitch this in like a couple days. I didn't want to put all this work in and then find that this gets grubby because they're putting the pin in. And then my husband told me, he's like, well, you don't have to tell them it's an advent calendar. And I'm like, true, I don't. So because I saw this stitched on Flosstube, she's from Ukraine, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful with this. Like I look at this and I'm like, eh. I mean, what does it say? Now we welcome him in our hearts, the peace and joy each Christmas starts. Okay, that's fine. But when I saw it, I was like, oh wow, that looks awesome with this here. I don't know, I just kind of had a new appreciation for it. So I'm gonna actually stitch the whole thing. And I talked about this on my Instagram video. I did an Instagram video talking about the charms, because this, like, unless you don't care to have the charm, this, if you just get like a secondhand version of this kit, there's two charms. There's like the star and there's this heart here. And someone had asked me, because originally I wasn't gonna stitch this bottom section, and she had asked me about this charm because this charm is hard to find. I didn't really want to give up the charm, so I did find. So let me do some digging, and I did find a company on Etsy. It's not gonna. Anyways, this is the kit charm. I don't know if you can see it. And this is the charm I found on Etsy. So this one's like shinier, but like look at them. I don't know, this one seems like a tiny bit bigger, but like they're identical. You have to take the clasp off. And then I found an identical star too, if you on Etsy. I can't remember the name of the store, something horse. I have all the details on my Instagram video if you want to go look at that. But this came from January Girl Supply on Etsy, and it's, again, so the only difference is this one is more brass. There is another company that I found, although I didn't purchase it. There's one that has the gold. Again, I give all the information on Etsy if you want to experiment and get from that company. This was like 15 cents a star, and this was like $5 or $6. So anyways, idea if you get, I mean, I got it so that I could gift the chart when I was done, because, you know, it's an out of print kit and it's not that easy to find. So that would be a nice present for a stitchy friend. Okay, so there's that one. What are we at? 49 minutes. Wow, I didn't know I was talking for this long. What other Christmas whips do I have? I have a couple more Christmas whips that I'll show you. And again, I haven't worked on this one since I showed it last. But this is from Stony Creek, and this is Holy Night Nativity. Oh, Holy Night Nativity. Mary Daydream Stitcher has stitched this, and it's beautiful. And all I have done is Mary and a portion of baby Jesus's manger. So there's that one. Sorry, zipping. I don't edit, guys, so what is this one? Oh, this one is from Parisian Embroiderers. And I'm stitching with this with Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher. And she said on her channel what this was in English. I'm just going to hold it up. You can read it. There we go. And here's what I have done. I'm trying to get a chunk of the tree done. So this is the bottom of the tree. And then reward myself with like a dog or a cat. But these are kind of a bit fiddly. There's lots of color changes in them, so if you're not big on color changes, you might not like the Parisian embroiderer charts. And then what other Christmas one is this? Oh, this is Christmas. So this is one of the lavender and lace charts that is just really, really hard to find. Where is it? It's this one. This is Oh Christmas Tree by Lavender and Lace. And I don't have a lot done on this. I've got part of the tree. I don't even know if that's right. I don't even know if that's the right way up, but anyways, that's one of my Christmas whips. And then do I have one in here? See, I thought I had way more Christmas whips than what I do. I really don't, considering that most of my stash is Christmas. It's kind of funny. Oh yes, I do have one in here. This is another Parisian embroiderer kit. That's what it's called. I think you can still get this. I don't know. And that's all I have. So it came, when I say a kit, it came with the bag and the pattern, and that was it. So hopefully I can get back to that one of these days. And then I have, I know I brought down some of my ornaments. I think I buried them though. Where are they? Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh, here they are. They are buried. So I'm started, since my last video, I started this. It's a Debbie Mum? Where does it say that? Oh yeah, right there, Debbie Mum. Mill Hill Snowman. And made pretty good progress. And this is the thing I was talking about in my last video. It's from Wonderland Crafts on Etsy. Oh, it's picking up something metal here. And how you basically load your perforated paper is there's magnets on both sides, and you just put your paper down like that, and then you attach the magnets joined together. So I can actually put this in my sorry, hold please, let me get that in properly. There we go. I can actually fit this in my Lowry stand. And also, it's, even if you're not using a stand, the edges are smooth so your floss doesn't get caught on the edges. So love that. They come in, this is the biggest size. They come in like the smaller sizes for the smaller Mill Hill kits. And then I found a better way to store my floss. I'm storing it like this now. I think I showed in a video before I had all these flops drops and all the floss was like all tangled. So I got this from Parisian Embroiderers. And I just put little stickers on the back with the DMC number. So I started that one. And then I said in my last video I was going to start this guy, and I did start him. And then I put him down and I started the other one. So he's almost done. I don't know why I didn't keep going. So hopefully I'll finish that this Christmas. And then I still have not finished. The only other ornament I have on the go right now is this one. I'll have to just backstitch them. Like, what's wrong with me? Just do it. just do it. And do I have the picture? Oh, I don't have the picture out. It's basically, I don't know, you can see what it is. It's a little cat looking up at a bird, and there's a Christmas tree. So that's that one. I think those are all my Christmas WIPs that I have, and we're at 55 minutes. I'll show a few minutes of stash because I have to go get my kids very shortly. Should I show here? These are just things that have been kind of calling to me. Some of them are actually new things. I got this. This is Christmassy in my mind. It's called Golden Angel by Designs for the Needle. I thought she was just really pretty. But to me, that's, I don't know, angels to me kind of are Christmassy. This one is also calling to me. This is Glad Tidings Stocking. It's a Dimensions kit by Lena Lou. And this is in a bag, so I'm guessing this one's not available anymore, unless it was reprinted. So this one I did, so these are a couple of, yeah, this is a new purchase. Sorry, I was looking at the thing underneath it. This is definitely a new purchase. I've been looking for a Busela kit, a cross-stitch kit. It's a stocking kit with this artwork on it. And I came across this. Now this isn't cross-stitch. This is applique felt. But I would love to find the cross-stitch stocking of this and do it. And if I do ever find it, I'm gonna stitch that instead of the applique. But in lieu of, this was like, I think 10 bucks. I don't know, maybe people aren't into this anymore. But I love that artwork. So there's that. And then I saw this on the Stitch North website. Someone had stitched these up, and I've had this kit forever, but they were so cute. She showed a picture of them. They were adorable. So I pulled that out to maybe start it over the holiday. And I'll show a couple more things. This is not new. This is something I had in my stash. I have the stocking too. I haven't decided whether I want to stitch the picture of the stocking. This is Dimensions. It's just Welcome. I love this too. This is Merry Little Xmas by, and I can't say it, Passion Ricamo. I'm probably butchering that. There's that one. And then this is another Ruth Moorhead piece, and I don't know if you can see, where is it? It's this little one with the little boy with the cat, the little orange cat. So cute. They're all cute. Like, I would stitch that with a mouse. Look, Amber, mice. I'm trying to convert Amber. Well, I'm not trying. I think I've converted her to liking mice and cross stitch. What else? What else do I have here? Oh, speaking of mice and cross stitch, I got this. This was an early Christmas gift. This is from Twin Peak Primitives, and I'm thinking this purchase, this is thanks to Jordan Tattoo Stitcher. She sent me a picture of this a while ago. She's like, you need to get this. And I'm like, yes, I do. So, thank you, Jordan. And then what else? What else do I have here? This is a new purchase too. This is from Frisian Embroiderers, of course. This is their Christmas box that they did this year. Although I don't think I'm going to use this little frilly thing here, and I don't know if I'm going to use the presents. They're like paper. I think I may find something like an actual like miniature present, like that they use for like miniature displays. See if I can find something. But I'll use the wreath. The wreath is cute. There's that. And then I found this. I got a Facebook, it wasn't Facebook Marketplace, it was like a local moms group selling page on Facebook. And there was like a box of, she basically just showed the box, 50 bucks, take everything. So I didn't really quite know. I knew there were kits and books and stuff. I just didn't know what they were. So I was like, I'll take a chance for 50 bucks. And it actually wasn't a bad, I think half of it I kept and half of it was like, man, I got rid of. But this was in it. This was 365 Christmas Designs by Cooler Designs Studio. And you know how I like all my retro cross stitch. And the one thing that I really liked in it was this page with the mice on it. I like hate mice in real life. Like I see one in my house because we get them in our house a lot because we live in the country. I scream. Like honestly, I actually went into labor because of a dead mouse. I was picking up my cats. I had 3 cats at the time. And because I didn't have children, I just bought thousands of cat toys for my cats. Well, they had strewn them all over our basement. And I was 5 days overdue with my daughter, and I thought, well, maybe if I vacuum, I can put myself into labor. So I started picking up all the toys off the floor. So I went to pick up this one toy, and I was like, this is squishy. And I looked down, and it was a dead mouse. I thought, oh, because my cats don't eat them. They just maul them till they die because they like playing with them. Anyways, I chucked the mouse, I started screaming, and my water broke. So then I wasn't actually in labor, but because my water broke, we went to the hospital, and for reasons like they had to induce me, I couldn't stay with, sometimes they'll say, oh, go home and go into labor, but I had to get hooked up to antibiotics and all this stuff. Anyways, long story short, I don't like mice in real life. I hate them. They're gross. They carry disease. But in cross stitch, when they're wearing clothes, oh my gosh, they're the cutest things. Like, look at that. Look at the mouse with the snowman. Look at Santa Mouse. Oh, this is so cute. He's like, will you kiss me? And she's like, oh, you. Cookies. Oh my gosh. I'm like dying. So cute. And what was the other thing in this book? These reindeer are cute. But like, I sent this picture to someone on Instagram. I'm like, what are they doing? I don't know if you can see these guys. Like, what are they doing? Like, are they, I'm like, I've looked at this for a long time. You know how you look at those paintings and you're like, what am I looking at? Like, are they dancing? Are they like he doesn't even have, like, I thought, well, maybe he has his arm around the guy's neck. Oh, maybe that's a collar. Oh, okay, now this is making more sense. Because I was like, it looks like he's got his arm like over top of him like this, and like, it doesn't look like he's carrying him though, because his one arm is here. Anyways, what are they doing? Somebody tell me. It's cute. Anyways, I like the skating reindeer. Yeah, those are cute. Anyways, there's like, oh, there's 365 amazing designs in here. Like that polar bear with the penguin. Like, come on. Can't take it. I can't live long enough to do all of these things. Anyways, I'm gonna look through this and try and find something to stitch out of it. What else do I have? I'm at an hour. Okay. I'm watching my time because, not just because of my kids, but I don't want this to take eons to upload. I pulled this because I had a dog named Lassie as a kid. I know, it's super original. We named our little Sheltie Lassie, but I had a dog named Lassie. And sadly, she died of uterine cancer because my parents kept her in hopes of breeding her, and then they never did breed her, so they never fixed her, so then she got cancer. So anyway, it's that one. And that's, what is that called? Minton Games number 51. I guess this is a series from Crosswing Collection. What else do I... Oh, I pulled this because I'm gonna stitch this as my husband's stocking. He had a dog named Amber when he was a boy, and he has a brother that's like 15 months younger than him. He also had a coat this color. There's a picture of him with his dad wearing a coat this exact color, so I thought that was kind of cute to represent. Kind of meaningful for him. He's not going to care at all, but you know, it's meaningful for me. This is another one that kind of I pulled. I'm like, oh, that's cute. I might quit that one on St. Nicholas and the Gifts. I don't know if I've ever shown that one. I like it because there's like a little cat peeking out here. And what else did I pull? I pulled this. Maybe I can fold it because the chart is on the bottom. This is called Christmas Wishes. And it's, I got it on Etsy. It's Stitches by Ethel. I saw this on Just Keep Stitching. I think it was, yeah, it must have been Stephanie because she's the cat person, right? Yeah, I don't know. It was one of them. They showed this and I thought it was really cute. So I actually pulled all of the floss. Like I just took stuff from my stash. And I'm going to start it probably this Christmas because it's small. I'm trying to start small stuff so I don't. Things are already way out of hand, but like, you know. And then this was my big Christmas gift this year. I hemmed and hawed because they don't ship to Canada, so I'd have to do, I'd have to have it shipped to me through like a third party, which then makes it more expensive. So I hemmed and hawed, and finally I just gave in because in the past when they do these boxes, I was just kind of hoping they would eventually release the pattern, and the one that I really liked, they never did. So I thought, well, I'm gonna get this while I can. And it was like a limited edition box. It came with like pins and needle minders. There were 2 other charts, and then there was this chart. It's by Twin Peak Primitives, and they honestly, their stuff is lovely. It's just, it's not typically my style. If you've watched me before, like this and this are kind of different styles. This is kind of more my speed, but I just love this. And it's called Winter Cheers. And it came with like a mouse pad and, oh, what else did it come with? Pins, and it came with 2 other charts and the fabric and the floss. Where's the floss? Here's all the floss colors. I'm trying to figure out where this orange is. Must be one of the coats. Anyways, I would love to start that. I'm not going to use the Ada. I'm going to use the, this is pretty close to the Ada that was in the box, and it's kind of blowing out. It's a color and cotton. What is it called? It's a Joe blend. It's called Luna by Color and Cotton. So I'd love to start that. And then maybe I'll show you one more thing and then I'll sign off for now. Oh, I have 2 things in this bag because I kitted those up. This is another Christmas stitch. I think I've shown this recently. Maybe I haven't. This is Christmas Countdown by Lori Birmingham. And again, I wasn't going to do the Advent, but now I'm like, maybe I should just like cut the fabric to that size just in case I change my mind. So I think I'm going to do that. But there it is. It's cute. It's bunnies. And again, Amber Rogue Mama Stitcher has stitched this. It's really, really cute. I'm not sure what video it is, but on one of her videos she shows it. And then I have this all kitted up to go as well. But I think I should finish my other nativity before I start this. This intimidates me. This scares the life out of me. So I think it's the cutting that's throwing me off. But anyways, one day, because I have all the floss from the floss packs. So, and the fabric. So that's it. That's all I have to show today. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Stay safe. And I will see you in the new year. Happy New Year, because I'm probably not going to be back till January sometime. So take care. Bye.